it's Ian from RTO here. Welcome to Retro Ranking, where it's all about songs. And this week it's not even a pop artist, it's not TV themes, it's national anthems. Because at the time of this recording, so if you're watching this in 2026, we are a week away, just about under a week away from the Olympic Games in Paris. So I thought we're going to hear a lot of national anthems. So I thought I'd go through some of my favourite national anthems. Now, I've listened to quite a lot in the last few weeks, and I've put together my top 20 favourite national anthems. So, here we go. So coming in at number 20 is the national anthem of Ukraine. Now, this is written by a chap called Mikhailo Bursky. It was written in 1860, but it didn't become their national anthem until 1992. It's a very sort of patriotic sound. It's very, I mean, when you see like the football team, when they're singing, they've all got the hand there and they're singing at the top of their voices. And yeah, very patriotic. And I quite like it. It really stirs the in there for you. So at number 19 is a national anthem of an island that I have visited, and it's Malta. It was written by Duncan Pasala. I think that's how you pronounce it. And Malta's national poet. And the music was composed by Mauro Robert Samut. Written in about 1922. I've heard this quite a few times. There's in the capital Valletta there's a big square, and one of the things they kept playing was the Maltese national anthem. There's all these. If you've ever been, you know, there's all the fountains, and it's next to their Buckingham Palace. I quite like that. It's really of that sort of sound. There's something about it, the trumpets and it's all jolly. It's quite a nice little one. Okay, coming in at number 18, this is the Canadian, written by Calixte Lavelle, and it's the music of the national anthem is "Oh Canada." The French lyrics to accompany the music was written by Adelphi Basile Routier, and there's been many English versions. Now, the reason I like this is back in the day in Grand Prix when Jacques Villeneuve was winning races, you'd always hear this tune, and I've always thought it's amazing where you get to like national anthems, all to do with sport, and this is one of them that I've got fond memories of seeing it, hear this most Sundays when he was racing. Okay, number 17 is the national anthem of Namibia, and this is written by Alexei Duzeb. He was a composer, and it's actually called "Land of the Brave," and it was their national anthem since 1991. I quite like this. It's got a very moving sort of feel to it, dramatic in places, and it makes ours sound a bit dirgy sometimes, but it goes on a little bit though. It's one of them that goes on. Okay, at number 16, we stay on the continent of Africa and we go to the South African. Now, this version was adopted in 1997, and it's a hybrid song commanding extracts of a 19th century hymn by Nkosi Sikel, and it's in I Africa, which is God Bless Africa, and it's an Afrikaans. The Afrikaans used it, but it's sort of with all the politics out there. But this one, it starts off so dramatic. It's like a masterpiece of a classical. You know, anything that Beethoven or Brahms or Handel wrote, it's absolutely corking. I like that. Again, wouldn't you hear this quite a lot if you follow sport? Okay, number 14 is from New Zealand. God Defend New Zealand. It's one of two national anthems. The other, of course, being God Save the King, because they are part of the Commonwealth. But when you watch the All Blacks, this is the one they do. It's a poem, and it was put to music, and it's a great song. The words are fantastic. If you ever get to look at the words. They're so meaningful and about the history of the land, and it sort of incorporates the Maori as well. It's a really, really good tune. Okay, number 13 is another country that I have visited. It's a Caribbean country, and it's the Dominican Republic, and it's called Himno Nacional. It was composed by Jose Reyes, lyrics by Amelia Prudhomme. This one reminds me, remember the TV series House of Cards? And I mean the British version, not the American. And when I first heard this, which was actually on the island, of course, when I was on holiday there, and I thought, oh, this reminds me of the House of Cards. And that's how it stuck with me. Every time I hear this, I think of Francis Urquhart. Okay, number 12. This is Australia. Advance Australia Fair. Written by Peter Doggs McCormick. Another of those. Everybody knows this. Very patriotic. I think this is a really, really good national anthem. I enjoy this one. Hear it a lot on in rugby, of course, and cricket. And as much as I have to beat the Aussies, they have got a damn good national anthem. Okay, number 11 is ours, the United Kingdom. At the moment, of course, it's God Save the King. It's very hard to get used to saying that, because all we've had is God Save the Queen. It's used as well in the Commonwealth, New Zealand and Australia, but they prefer their own. The author of the tune is unknown, but the words were done by John Bull. People say it's a bit dirgy, but I've sung it about. When you sing the national anthem, you sing it with pride. But I think Billy Connolly's alternative, the theme from The Archers, would have been more interesting. Okay, at number 10. I've got to say this completely right. I probably won't. It's called a Tom Navian, the Irish national anthem, composed by Peter Kearney and Patrick Heaney. It's one of two anthems you hear at rugby. They do this, and they do Ireland, Ireland. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I think this is a wonderful piece of music, and because I have got Irish roots in me, it is sort of I do like this. It's very about the group, about the translation is, yes, a bit patriotic and a bit political in places, but I still love the tune. Okay, coming in at number 9, we go to Mexico. Another place that I've been. This was played a lot in Mexico. It's got a bit of a history, this one. In Spanish, it's Himno Nacional, like thing. It's also, the Mexicans call it the cry of war. The lyrics are written by Francesco Gonzalez, and it's been their national anthem since 1854. It's a typical South American one. Lots of trumpets, You know, a lot of gringo and all that thing. I like this one. I do like the sort of South American, Central American uh, national anthems, and this one's quite grand. I like that quite a lot. Okay, number 8. We just pop across to the channel to France. La Marseillaise, written by Claude Joseph Rouget Lyle. One of the most recognisable national anthems. But unfortunately, when I hear this, I only think of one thing. A man with a tape recorder up his nose. Now in stereo. Monty Python sketch. I know, it's bad, isn't it? But that's, when I hear that, I can just see Graham Chapman with his finger up his nose. Okay, coming in at number 7. Italia. Another recognisable national anthem. We hear this all the time when Ferrari win a race, which at the moment they don't seem to win too many. But it's a great tune. It was set. There was a poet, a patriotic song written by Raffaello Mellini, and music was by Michel Navarro, done around about 1847. One of my favourite tunes. It's very Italian. It's lots of arms swinging. Yeah, it's a really interesting tune, isn't it? Okay, at number 6. Now Michael will be Michael Ricefield. Records were like this. It's the national anthem of his adopted home in Japan. This goes back many a year. They say this was written round about somewhere between 794 and 1185. The original, and it sort of added to it in 1880. It's a wonderful piece of music. It's one of the most beautiful national anthems you'll ever hear. It's so calm, tranquil, and peaceful. Great little tune that one is. At number 5, we have the United States of America, the Star Spangled Banner. Lyrics come from the Defense of Fort McHenry, a poem by Francis Scott. There's quite a few versions of this going around. The most one I know is Jimi Hendrix's version. But I think the worst one I heard was very recently a Grammy award-winning singer. She's now admitted that she was drunk when she sung it. It was awful. But I do like this. I actually prefer it when I don't like hearing it with just a singer. I like to hear a band playing it. I think it is a really good one. I do like Star Spangled Banner. Okay, at number 4. Now, this is one of the most modern, adapted national anthems, and it's from Scotland, and it's the Flower of Scotland. Now, this was written by Roy Williamson, who's a folk singer in the 60s, and it describes the victory of Robert the Bruce over Edward II of England at the Battle of Bannockburn. I love this. Again, the way I spell my name is because my great grandmother was from Scotland, and of all the home countries, I think this is the best. You hear it more at rugby and when the Scottish national teams are playing in the Commonwealth Cup, and I think the best way to hear this when they play it on bagpipes. It is absolutely wonderful. It's when I am born here in England, but when I hear this, it does bring my Scottish roots, and I do love it. That's probably right. Okay, coming at number 3. Now, this is one you definitely will be not hearing, but I have to put it in because I do like it. and it's the Russian national anthem. It was composed in 1939 by Alexander Alexandropov. But when I hear this, all I can think of is the Red Square, Leonid Brezhnev, and the little hats they used to wear. And every time, they go, let's go to Russia, they play this, in films and that. I think it's really, really good. Okay, it's not a bit controversial at the moment, but I'm not interested in the politics. I look at the tunes and I do like this tune. Okay, number 2. Written by Joseph Haydn. It's the Deutschlandit, or something like that. Song of Germany. It's the German national anthem. I think this is great. Wasn't used during the war, of course, but it's a fine piece of music written by Joseph Haydn anyway. A great composer in his own right. Again, one of them that we got used to hearing this a lot during the 90s when Michael Schumacher was winning races in Grand Prix. You'd get the German followed by the Italian, and that's why it's in my top 10, because you get to hear them a lot. And I think it is a very good national anthem, full stop. But my favourite national anthem of all time has to be the Brazilian, composed by Francesco Manu da Silva in 1831. It's one of the longest national anthems there is. It's got that South American feel to it. And this one again, it really takes me back to F1 when Ayrton Senna was king of Grand Prix. You heard this most Sundays. But you could when this started, you could go in the next room, make a cup of coffee, and come back in, or go to the bar and get a pint, and they were still playing it. It's just very, very good. It just seems to be 3 pieces of music all thrown together. You have this grandeur start, then you have this sort of bit, and then you go back to the it's just it's near enough a complete suite. And that's why I like it. It's just an absolutely brilliant piece of music. So there we go. There's a little bit of fun about talking about national anthems and what they mean to me and how I like them. Bit different, isn't it? But that's what it's all about. Okay, that's all for today. We'll be back tomorrow, and it is Marathon Day. And we're going to do one of the bands of the new wave of British heavy metal that forgotten about, but they were a very, very important part in the beginning. And it's a band from the northeast of England, and they are called Raven. They are a 3-piece band, and they are terrific. So that's all coming up tomorrow. The sun's just come out. The skies are blue again, so it's going to be a nice day, I hope. So bye for now.